I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Good afternoon to you all. I hope that you're feeling blessed and highly favored on today. If you did happen to catch Coach Primetime's press conference that he had with Colorado State, or pardon me, just Colorado, then you would know, you would kind of pick up on that particular joke there. Thank you for tapping in with me once again. And we will be speaking on Coach Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime. As you may have heard by now, he has opted to leave Jackson State after this year in order to go to Colorado. This is prompted by a $5 million contract per year that they will be assigning to Coach Prime. Now, many individuals in the black community are furious concerning this. They say that he's all about the money. How could he do this to these children? Continue to uplift the black community and these kids. Who cares about money? Now, my stance on this is one that may shock you, or it may not shock you if you follow this channel often. My take on it, well, let me start here. In my own life, it has been few and far in between where I have ran across black men in particular who are willing to lend a helping hand. As many of you may know, we are typically synonymous in the black community with having the crab in the barrel mentality, to where, as soon as one begins to get out of the elements or the buckets that so easily restrict him, he's pulled down by another. Now, I won't contribute that to this mentality as a whole, but I have witnessed with my own eyes times where I've been in the workplace. Typically, it's another black man that's hating on me. And it confused me when I first came into things, because with all of the talent that I possessed, or that I knew that I had, as far as with the ability to speak, communicate, leadership abilities, after I knew I was coming in with a loaded gun, so to speak, and I almost thought that it would be easy passage for me. I thought that some older black man was gonna come and scoop me up and put me under his wing, and and kind of navigate me throughout the landmines of the corporate world. Sad to say that this was not the case. Uh, it's almost like every man for himself, and more surprisingly, it almost bred a distrust in me, because anything that you would reveal to these men, or any areas of weakness that they actually saw in you, it would swiftly be reported to a higher up, which 9 times out of 10 is a Caucasian man. So I saw a lot of good old boy stuff going on in the office workspace. Let me give a different example, or say it in a different way. Oftentimes, the only people that are the only individuals who have reached a helping hand to me is one of a person typically operating in a street element, or an illegal element, so to speak. That, and also the black woman, a few white women as well, have always been there to kind of assist me in times of need. With the men, typically it's pretty much kind of short-lived, or it's only predicated based on our ability to help each other. And as soon as that ceases, or as soon as we're not on the same page, then that typically comes to an end. Now, you may be asking yourself, Justin, what does this have to do with Coach Prime and him leaving Jackson State to go to Colorado? And I'll go ahead and crystallize it for you if you haven't caught the drift of what I'm trying to say. Based on my experiences, I can't fault Deion Sanders one bit for actually elevating and progressing and taking on a job that's going to be more beneficial to him and his family. Now, and also to his career. Now, for the millions, or I won't say the millions, but for the handful of individuals who he has been receiving backlash from, as far as, how could you do this? How could you, those students in this capacity? It's almost, to me, he served his time. Much like anything else in life, uh, you have to start at the bottom. So, of course, when he saw that he had a talent for coaching, he wasn't going to start off, especially in something predominantly ran by Caucasian men. There was no way possible, even with him being a legendary NFL player, that he was going to start at the top with an elite program. And so, um, another black man took a chance on him, and I think that has in turn been reciprocated because he's single-handedly turned this program around. He's put Jackson State on the map for many years to come. So for a lot of students who aren't going to be recruited by upper echelon programs, they now have a chance to be competitors for years to come, especially if Coach Prime succeeds in actually winning a championship with this team this year. Now, there's no doubt that they're going to look different next year because, of course, he's going to be taking some players with him, including his son. He's going to be taking some staff members. But to me, he owes this program nothing. I was often taught that fair exchange is not a robbery. And so, of course, this opportunity was rewarded with him coming in and transforming this program, bringing prestige to this particular program. Now that has been said, of course, it is only right that the Caucasian man come knocking at his door now, and of course with that is going to come a large sum of money, typically to go against or to go ahead and elevate with that and go on over to the other side. Now, along with this comes another opportunity for him to grow. It comes another challenge, which, if you're familiar with the mentality of sports figures, typically they relish at that opportunity of coming on and taking on a new challenge, much like he did with Jackson State. He knew it was going to be a challenge, and he's faced all type of adversity down there, as far as not having a lot of money to work with, water shortages and outages, so he's had his fair share of things that he's had to deal with. And so, as far as with that, to me, he served his dues, and I see no ill will or nothing wrong with what he has done as far as accepting the role and going to Colorado. Now, that is my opinion, and of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion concerning another man's decisions with him being a public figure. So you are entitled to that. But ask yourself, if it were you in that particular position, or if even in your own life, even in your own workspace, how many of your people have you endeavored to put on? How many of your own kind, like when you see them in the workplace, have you took them up under your wing? Have you endeavored to go ahead and place them in a position that could lead to them being in a higher position than yours? I think it starts at home. We as a people, like I said, we are not known for that. I haven't saw it, and I wish that wasn't so. I wish that wasn't so. We have to do better as a people. But there's no way that you can cast blame on Mr. Sanders when typically we're not responsible in our own communities. As far as with that helping hand, and typically people, when that money comes knocking across the board, they're going to take it, and in his position, I honestly don't think that it was money driven. Of course, to an extent it was, but I don't think that was a determining factor. I think it's a culmination of everything that I mentioned as far as taking on a new challenge, growing in his ability to coach. And of course, if he would have been a failure, Jackson State would have sure enough got rid of him, like that. So, it's kind of hand in hand. And of course, he still will be able to help his community. He'll still be able to recruit players to a more prestigious school now and actually have a greater opportunity into getting them in the league. There's going to be more eyes on this program now. So it's still, a win-win if you ask me. Of course, he is leaving at HBCU, which many have art with, but here on this particular platform, and if you're asking me, I don't see anything wrong with his decision making. And of course, blessings to Coach Prime. He was certainly one of my favorite players growing up, if not my favorite player growing up. And so, to see where he's at now, is certainly a blessing to see it. And I hope that he continues to progress and get better with his coaching. And I hope that many blessings come in his direction. And so, to whom this may concern, certainly that's my take on it. And much love to you all. And of course, until next time, certainly be blessed.